Hi, I'm Divine and registered number CRK19CS1032. Now we are going to see few programs on graphical user interface using Java Spring. So in this program what we are going to do is we are going to see a login window where the username and password is already given. So if we give a wrong password or a wrong username, it will show you an output as login failed. If it's correct, it will give an output as login successful. So that's what the program is. So for the window, we are giving a frame with a name as login and then a size of 500 and 300. The set size, we will be using set size to determine the size, and then set visible, it's true to visible, then set default close operation, which is these operations, which is default, so we are giving that too, and then we are giving frame.set layout. So okay, that's it on the window. So then in the window, the first label is a username, which will be in red color. So I have given I have denoted label as L1. So L1 dot set for color, its color is red, so color dot red. And then I have given the font Arial, then font dot plain, it's plain, and then the size of the font is 18. So I am a frame dot add L1 is it will be adding all those things inside your frame, which is the window. And then T1, which is the text box, which is the text field. Text field means the place where you type. So for that I am giving a foreground color as black, and then I'm setting the font as Arial font plain, and then 18 is the font size, and then frame dot add, I'm adding the same thing, not the same, these things inside the window, and then the label, and the next label is the word password, and even it's in red color, so foreground color is foreground as I'm setting it as red, and then I set font as Arial font plain, and then the size is 18, and even I'm adding that too inside it, and then the place where we are going to type our password is I'm taking it as T2 J password field. Then it will be in black color, so color dot black, and then T2 set font, the new font I'm giving, the new font, the Arial, the font size is 18, and then even I'm adding that too inside our window, and then I'm giving a button with the name login. So it will be in black color, so I'm setting the foreground color as black, and the font set font as Arial font dot plain, and the size is 18. So then using this frame dot add b1, which is the button, it will be added to your window. And then for the button, add action listener, so then new action listener I'm giving, and then we are overriding in the string name, I'm giving the name in string format, and even the password in string format. So t1.getText will be your name, the name will be stored in t1.getText, and then the password will be stored in string format and t2.getPassword. So I'm giving a if condition that if name is equals Karunya and password is equal Karunya, then you will get a dialog box with in the frame as login successful, or else you will get output as login failed. So let's run the program. Okay, now it's right. So let me give some error password, so login failed, and then let's change it to the correct one. So now I got login successful. So that's all this program is. Then let's move on to the second one, which is a calculator, basic calculator. So then first of all for the window, so wait, this is for the window, this full part is for the window. So the frame name will be design preview calculator, and then the size will be 500 300, and then the visibility is true, and they said default close operations, and then I have given set layout as null, and then the first label is a calculator, and I am setting the set bounds as 220 160, which is the place in which this will be typed, and then I'm adding this to the window with the frame add. So let's leave some space for easy understanding. So then I'm giving T1, which is the text field, which is the space, and again a space. Wait. So then I'm adding that too. Then I'll first label it as number 1, and then I'm setting a set bound as 50 100 80 and 30, and then adding this to the window, and then same as that of number 2, but quite different in it. It's just because it's number 2, and then T2, which is the space where you will be typing the second one. Where in this T1, this is the space where you will type the number 1, and the T2 is the space where you will type the number 2, the space where, and then these are the buttons with the note, add, subtract, multiply, and divide, and these are the position set bounds, and I'm adding all those with frame.add b1, frame.add b2, frame.add b3, frame.add b4, and then the last label is result, and with the set bound I have set bounds, and then I'm adding that, and b1 dot add action listener I have done, and then we are overriding right now. So then what, just a button is not useful. So whenever you click a button, these actions should be done, which is in number one is this one. The thing which you will type in T1 is known as the number first one. So number 1 equal to int dot phrase end T1 dot get text. This will be stored in number 1, and the number 2 is integer dot present T2 dot get text, and this will be the second one, the number which we will be typing in T2. Yeah, it is T2 is known as the number 2, and in the sum both will be adding, and you give the result space. So then the same thing happens, same thing but a quite difference, which is the operator. It's the subtracting operator, this multiplicating operator, and the division operator. With this, so whenever you click add button, it will be it goes here and it will add and give you an answer. So whenever you click a subtraction button, it will go here, this program will go to this part and it will subtract and give you an output. So whenever you click the multiplication button, so it moves here and it will multiply and give you the answer. And then whenever you click division button, it will move here and it will divide and give you the answer. So let's check out this program. Okay, so I gave the first number as 5 and the second number as 10. So when we are adding, I get 15. While subtracting, I get -5. While multiplicating, I get 50. And while dividing, I get 0 because it's an integer, not a floating point value. If it's floating point value, double it. If it's double, you will get an point value. Since it's not double, you won't get a point value. It is 0. So let's change this and let's divide. So you get to the same thing, quite different in multiplication. I mean subtraction, it will be 5, not minus 5. So let's move on to the next program. So what does this program does is, um, actually what is this, I'm sorry, what does this program does is gives you the students information system, that window. So this is for the window, which will give you an window name as design preview new J-frame, and then the size 500 and usability 2, then the default close operations, and then set layout as null. And then the first label will be student information system with the font bold and size 18 and in the color blue. So it will be placed in set bound 220, 250, 20, 280 in the position, and then we will be adding all this L to the window using frame.add of L. So then the label, first label is name, which will be in bold 16, and the set bound is this 50, 100, 80 and 30, which is the position, and this will be added to your window. And then the text field, which is the space where you're going to enter your name. So for that, so for that I have given the, which is 100 text field of 100, and then the set font as font bold, the number 40, size number 14, and then set bounds as these in this position, and even this will be added to your window, and then it will be asking you the gender. So in this, the gender is in the radio button. So for the gender, we are giving radio button here to select one. So this will be, since I'm taking button group, so it will be in the button group. The button group is equal to new button group. I have created this, and then for R1, which is our first one, which is the word male, will be in bold with a size 14, and the female same bold with size 14, and you are set bounding it. I am setting set bounds with this values, and then I am adding this group.add of R1 and group.add of R2, and then I am adding all these things, which is from this to from this to this will be added to a window using frame.add R1 and frame.add R2. So then the next label is select state. Here we are going to use the combo box. So the word select state will be in bold with the font size 16, and I'm setting set bounds as 50, 200, 80 and 30, and I'm adding this to a window. And the string of a list is I have given very few about states name, and I'm setting and I'm creating a combo box here, and the size of this is bold. The font is bold and size is 14, and the foreground color will be black, and then I am giving set bounds as 200, 200, 250 and 30, and I am adding this list to our window. And then the technical skills for this label, even this label we are giving it in bold. So then the size is 60, font size is 60, and set bounds 50 to 50, 150, 30, and we are adding this label to our window. So then we can change our colors too. You can keep some colors extra too. So let's give pink here. So again, So then technical skills. Here we are using checkbox. So I'm creating a checkbox with text Java, and second with C++, and third with Python, and the fourth with JavaScript, and the first one with the font bold and size 14. All the four are same font and same font size, and I'm setting bound for 4 with same for 4, and only this differs, which is it should be placed in the same line, right? So the next by next, so I'm giving deferring this, and then we are adding C1, C2, C3, and C4, which is the all those 4 checkboxes into our window using frame.add, and then at last I'm creating a button called submit with a font bold and size 16, and even I'm adding that to a window. Then v1 dot add action listener, since it's a button we need an action listener here, and then we are overriding it. So then first the name will be in string, which will be in t dot get text. Through t dot get text, our name will be stored in the place name, and then the string selected items. I'm given the selected item to in string format. So if r1 dot is selected, so let's move to r, which is r1, which is the radio button, which is male or female. Yeah, here it is. See r1 and r2. So if the user chooses r1, selected item. So if r1 dot is selected, selected items 2 is equal to r1 dot get, the item will be stored in selected items. So else if r2 is selected, so r2 dot get text, which is the second one, will be stored in selected item, and then in the third one, and the third string selected item 3, which is the list dot get selected items. So what is this? Is a combo box. The things which we are selecting, if C1 is selected, it will be stored C1 dot selected item, C1 dot get text plus selected item 4 will be stored in selected item 4. Then the same thing, or else if C2 is selected, it will be selected items 4 plus C2 get items. Second one will be stored. If 3, the 3 plus the second one, selected item 4. If 4 plus the selected item 4 will be added. So then how it displays at last is with the dialog, in the dialog box. Now put as name with the name which you have selected, gender as the gender which you have selected, and state as the state which you have selected, and the skills which you have selected. So using this, it will pop with the dialog box. Show message dialog. So let's run the program. Okay. Okay. Now let's write our name. Sorry. And I give it's this is known as the radio button, and this is the combo box, in which you can see all the states name which I have given. So this. So then I'm choosing, this is the checkbox. I choose all 4, and then this is the button. So I'm getting a dialog box with the name, the gender which I have selected, state which I have selected, and then the technical skills which I have selected. So I give OK. So that's it. Thank you for listening.